I'm James. I'm a chaser and I weigh 200 pounds.
I'm Tom. I'm a chub and I weigh 415 pounds.
I would define a chub as someone, a man or woman who's 300 pounds plus. A chaser is someone who admires the fuller figure. It is a sexual fetish. Some chasers might like 300 plus under. I have no limit, on what I prefer. Yeah, I just love the bigness of a man, whether that's 400 pounds, 500 pounds.
You were talking to a dedicated chaser.
57-year-old Tom is 29 stone and a retired teacher from Massachusetts who used to be unlucky in love.
4 years ago, I was single. I had dated a lot beforehand, a lot of women beforehand. And one of the last women I dated, she kind of blew me off because she said to me, well, you wouldn't be able to take my kids around Disneyland or Disney World. And I thought, well, that's a nice way of saying you're too heavy to do something. And that really demoralized me. And so I didn't date for a while after that. I had never heard of this attraction between people who call themselves chasers looking for heavy people who are called chubs. And when I saw these ads, I thought, wow, this could be a real interesting thing to pursue. And there were 2 ads in the paper, and I answered both of them, and James responded, and so I thought, this is a miracle. This is something that might be interesting to pursue.
38-year-old music teacher James weighed just 14 stone, but he knew that he wanted someone at least twice his size.
I put the ad out because I was looking for a life partner, someone 300 pounds plus, and Tom fit the description, and I'm very happy I did it, and I'm very glad we met each other, and it's been great.
I was finding it very difficult to find a partner who accepted the fact that I was as obese as I was, and I was finding it really disappointed. And thinking that most people just were superficial and seen only by weight, not realizing I had a lot of talents underneath that weight. And so when I saw James' ad in the paper looking for somebody my size and so forth, I felt a great deal of confidence going into that blind date with him.
The first time I saw Tom, I looked at him, I said, he's the one for me. I was excited by his size, but I also thought, he's probably a nice guy too. That'd be great to have both of those things. I just had this instinctual feeling that he was the one. So,
Yeah, and it turned out wonderful. Good.
Ever since I was a boy, I've known I preferred bigger men. Just like a boy would be attracted to like a pinup girl or whatever. I liked Santa Claus, Laurel and Hardy,
Ben Franklin,
all older big men, and I didn't think it was strange. To me it was normal. I used to pad myself to look as big as Tom, if not bigger. And that was just part of the fetish. I used stretchable clothing, like the thermal underwear that stretches, and I'd have my own little room in my house, and I'd have all the clothes strewn around on the floor and pillows, and I'd come up with my own strategy how to do it, maybe bungee cords or, to hold it all in place, and then I'd walk around and, I just get the feeling it would be great. And sometimes one or two times I went out actually in public like that. And I got a few stares, a few people looked at me in a negative way.
Let's go for a little walk.
Okay. There are a lot of chasers who don't have that patience, who just want to, for a lack of a better word, maybe just get off on the belly or their body and just move on, But I'm in it for the long haul, and I consider him as a whole person, not just someone just to play in bed, The thing I love best about being intimate with a large man is just the feeling of fullness from their body, and it's a reassuring feeling to me to get away from the stresses of life, insecurities, just being able to hug a big man, and that's just very reaffirming to me, and it brings me a lot of happiness. It makes me very happy. Belly play is when I would enjoy the belly of a bigger guy, and all aspects of it. As a chaser, the belly is very important to me.
There's a myth there that larger men are very restricted in their sexual activities. The large men cannot sustain erections for very long. I don't find that true with some of the people I know, and I don't find it true in my own situation. I've often said to people, I'm very immobile on land, but in the bed situation, I'm very mobile.
The penis might not be as, it might be covered, but it's something that's
The belly might be a hindrance, but if you're willing to work around that, you can make it happen.
He definitely satisfies me, and I mean, we have a very satisfying sexual relationship, and
with a lot of different techniques.
Right, exactly. It's just different with a big person, you know. But just because of someone's size doesn't necessarily inhibit them from performing or satisfying the other partner. It all depends on how the other person wants to be satisfied, you know.
One of our favorite activities is hugging, no matter what time of the day it is. And James loves to be hugged. I love to be hugged. It just, to me, is the most wonderful sensation in the world, is to forget the world exists. We put on some nice music. We lay down on the bed usually. We don't get naked. We can have our clothes on sometimes. Sometimes we get naked. But it's just so nice to feel there's somebody that loves you so much, they almost want to crawl inside of you. And that's how both of us feel at times.
And we hug so close that we almost become one.
We cuddle in bed most of the time because it's a lot easier for me to do it that way. That the big thing Jim and I have always had is patience, understanding, love. And if something doesn't go right one time, doesn't mean it's not going to go right the next time.
Right. You just, over time, you find out which things work and which don't.
I think I would like to lose about 100 pounds, my present weight, for the sake of mobility. I have a terrible problem with mobility, not just because of the fat, but because of the weight of the effect of the fat on my knees.
I wouldn't leave him. I wouldn't leave him if he, you know, if he lost weight and went down to under 300 pounds. So that's just superficial, you know. I'd accept him at any weight he's happy with. I mean, I think sexually I prefer him to be on the larger side. We wouldn't be together for 4 years if we weren't in love, you know.
Still to come, carefree sex, the supersized way.